scope and importance of environmental studies about natural resources, land, soil, food, energy resources, forest, vegetation, conservation of natural resources awareness. In addition to this, we will study about one more topic in short, that is climate change. We will study about this topic. Let's start then. So, as we all know that till now, Earth is the only planet where life exists. So, this is a comprehensive definition as it is stressed on the totality that every living organism, from the lowest to highest, including human being, has its own environment. So we live in a collective environment. So starting from flora, fauna to all living or other organisms and human beings, Homo sapiens, and animals, birds, we all survive, and we all survive only because of the nature, the environment, the natural vegetation that has been gifted by the Mother Earth. So let's start. Historically, we have been serious mind about environment, and basic philosophy has been one of the harmony with nature as it's against Western concept of and conflict with nature. So as per the Isho Upanishads, the whole universe together with its creature belongs to the Lord. Implicit in this thought is that no creature is superior to any other, and human being should not have absolute power over nature. Let no one species encroach over the right and privileges of the species. One can enjoy bounties of nature by giving up greed. So today the world faces near a crisis situation, both economic and environmental. So we all know that we are facing both economic and environmental crisis, especially due to the advent of COVID-19. Policymakers find it difficult to formulate programs that would work under present situation for escalating population on the one hand and diminishing natural resources on the other. The environmental decadence inevitably weakens economy, which in turn leads to social disintegration. Human history is replete with such instances, and remains of the past in the archaeological sites of the world bear testimony to this. These civilizations were not able to cope up with uh, pressures of degraded environment. Kautilya, the vice minister in the court of the Chandragupta Maurya, said that stability of an empire depends upon the stability of environment. So we all know about the natural resources, soil, water, vegetation, weather, essence of life, form of essence of life that supports to its very activities. Natural resource management is an important issue that affects all sections of the people and also sectors of economy. So humans and animals and every living organism feed on needs to survive, and basic two things that they need requirement that they require is food, water, and for human beings, shelter. So, but from past decade, 2 3 decades, due to rapid expansion in population and due to rapid increase in requirement of food, water, and many other things, it has led to huge uh, deforestation. It has led to huge, what we can say is that exploitation of natural resources. Because the more population grows, the demand, the requirement grows, and that leads to huge unbalance in natural society, the society of nature in which we live. So we need to maintain the balance. If we wish to grow economy, then we should also wish to maintain the balance and to grow the natural vegetation of the country of where we live. Natural resource management is important issue that affects all sections of people and all sectors of economy. Today, if we are living in Delhi, between October till February has a very poor air quality index. So, due to from past 10 to 15 years, there has been a huge increase in the population of Delhi because people from either other states they come to live in Delhi as due to their jobs in Gurgaon and Noida, and also due to this large increase in population, there is also an increase in the vehicles, the private vehicles, and many other factors. So every land or the Mother Earth has its own capacity, so that the Mother Earth or can bear that much amount of population to fulfill their needs. But it cannot, but nature can never fulfill anybody's greed. So greed cannot be fulfilled. That is why we need to understand the situation. So the law of nature needs to be followed, and nobody can change or destroy that. If we tend to destroy that, we will destroy ourselves. We will destroy the whole earth. So since we can see here that since there is an upper limit to the availability of land in India is 29 MHA, 329 MHA, and most other resources, we need to know that carrying capacity of our country. So India is the second world's second populated country in the world, and the carrying capacity takes into account the availability of food, land, and water, energy. So we require that much of food to feed all our citizens. They also our citizen of our country, India, also require water that can be consumable water, fresh water. So only it can be used to drink and for other resources, and also require land for a shelter. India is to surmount pressure of burgeoning burgeoning population, according to 2011 census, has reached 1.21 and will be 1.38 billion by 2021. It will have more 600 million livestock by 2021 AD, requiring 275 million tons of food grains, 1,083 million tons of green fodder, and 2,035 million cubic meter of firewood, as against of our current supply capacity of 200 million tons of food grains, 513 million tons of green fodder, and 40 million cubic meter of firewood. This means that the birth rate must come down from currently 19 to 1,000, 19 per 1,000 to 11 per 1,000, with death rate of 9 per 1,000. It takes us to birth control strategies, education for vocation. Women must involve considerable scientific and technological input from biotechnology and immunology. So all this means to say that if population grows, then simply their demand for food, for water, for all basic amenities will also grow. So, so it now it is becoming difficult, especially for India, to fulfill the stomach of all the citizens and to provide them good, healthy, nourished food. And because India right now requires that its population should be controlled, so now government is planning to for several other campaigns and for several other policies so that population should under control. Okay, land and soil resources. India's share in land resources of world's 2% only, on which 18% of its population and over 15% of its world's livestock survive. So in a nutshell, we can say that we have only 2%, but the requirement is about 18% for population, and for livestock it's 15%. But we have resources only about 2%. However, with its diverse agroclimate, topography, and soil types, India is capable of producing a wide range of crops and vegetation. The land surface of the country is widespread over an area, about 329, and represented by red and laterite soil, black soil, alluvial soil, desert soil, and other soil type. All these types of soils are used for crops. All these soil. So different soil helps in sowing seeds and sowing different crops, because land is one of the most components in for life support system, as I've told you. Okay, let's come to the geographical matrix of India. It's based on report of 305 MHA and is broadly grouped into three sectors: agriculture sector, ecological sector, and non-agriculture sector. So we all know that India is agriculture based country. India's economy is based on agriculture, which is 59.20 and 59.27 percent. Ecological sector 33.56%, and non-agriculture, that includes information technology, manufacturing, and many other things, only accounts to 7.17 percentage. So therefore, even if the present population growth rate of 2.1 continues, the current average carrying capacity of the land has to be increased from 6% HA to 10% to produce 300 million tons of food grains to meet the food requirements of 2020. Okay. This is possible provided the land resources are optimally utilized to increase the average food grains from 1.5 to 2.5 tons without impairing natural resources or base harming the environment. So, if population grows like this, then we need more land and we need more food, which is not possible to disturb the current natural balance, which is not possible to disturb, which is not possible while disturbing the current natural balance, the balance of nature. Therefore, essential to develop strategies to arrest soil degradation and assist and optimizing land to use so as to ensure both economic security and ecological security. So the word soil degradation refers to when soil starts degrading or when the quality of soil starts declining, the quality of soil deteriorates and while and it is not fit for growing crops, and when it becomes unfit for growing crops, then the land is of no use. The land might be can be used for construction, but not every land can be used for construction. But if this goes on, then the crop growing capacity of India will automatically fall, will automatically decline. So the third is the water resources. Three-fourths of Earth's surface is covered by ocean, as we all know. However, availability of fresh water is limited only to 2.7%. Fresh water is the water that we use, especially to drink, to take bath, and to for all our needs. So from total 72.2%, only 2.7% is available, lies in the frozen and about 72.2% of lies frozen in the polar regions and other 22.6% present as the groundwater. So we hear news about that lakes are being dried up. For example, Karnataka, Bangalore. I think from past 5 years, about 10 to 15 lakes has been dried there because people start throwing their waste, especially plastic. Plastic is the biggest enemy right now of nature. Once you start throwing plastic in any water or in any uh, pond or any lake, it starts polluting the lake and making and it tends to convert water into poison, which is very harmful. So proper waste management is very important. Again, water on the earth is perpetual motion through the hydrological cycle. The crisis about water resources development and management thus arises due to the limited availability of water at the actual place of utilization. As water is very unevenly disturbed over the place and time. Water is the most critical input for agriculture productivity and efficient water is pivotal for development sustainable agriculture. There is a growing awareness about the scarcity of the water under which conditions of increasing water demand from agriculture, domestic and industrial sector, share of water use and other agriculture was only 13% by 1985. Now here I would like to give an example of PepsiCo. So PepsiCo if has its own manufacturing and and a unit and bottle filling factory in, I think it's in Chennai. And from past 2 3 years, Chennai is facing lot of water crisis. Chennai is facing a lot of water crisis. So people of Chennai, they also demonstrated a protest against Pepsi because there was no water to drink, there was no water for other users, but the state, the government there, they were providing water to PepsiCo so that they can make this soft drink and they can sell it in the market. You can go on Google and search about it. Okay, please read about the technicalities overwritten here and let me know if you have any doubt. Okay, let's see about food. So, food, as we know that food is necessity for every uh, living organism, especially for human beings, being vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Fruits and vegetables are part of every meal, irrespective of the person is whether the person is vegetarian or non-vegetarian. So the Western model of as we can see that earlier we had only organic farming, means there were no pesticides and other types of seeds. But due to a rapid increase in population, there was a rapid increase in demand also. So so high yield variety seeds were introduced in the market. HYV seeds were introduced in the market that led to rapid production of food grains, vegetables on the same amount of land. Because earlier, if we need to grow more vegetables, we need to extend our land. And every farmer in India does not is not that much lucky to own a land. So due to this high yield seeds, one can grow as almost double amount of crops, double amount of vegetables on the same land. And high yield variety seeds, yani, that is HYV seeds, they also take less time to grow, but the quality is different from the natural farming seeds. So unfortunately, there are about 22% of people below poverty line right now. If agriculture production has to be ecological sustainable, it is important to have integrated strategy involving ecological, scientific, technological, and economic consideration. Okay, let's see about the energy resources. See, we have petroleum and all other coal, gas, natural gas that are right now polluting the environment. But India is towards India is on the path of becoming a solar energy giant or a solar energy master. So India, as per the Paris Climate Deal, India is fulfilling all its promises, and India is almost beyond its target. So right now we have biomass, solar energy that I've talked about, coal and petroleum, natural gas. You all know that. Then we have hydropower energy and nuclear energy, which has to be in a controlled manner. Firewood. See, today right now, even 78% of India, 78% of India uses this technology, that is firewood, for cooking. Only one purpose, that is cooking. Why? Because of lack of awareness. Lack of awareness, one. Second, lack of willpower of the authorities, and also people also need to change their behavior. They also need to change their lifestyle. That is very important. See, today we have, different alternatives. We have CNG, we have PNG, piped natural gas, then we have solar energy, then we have biomass energy, then many other, we have wind energy that is used for generating electricity. So, but we need to be more aware. We need to be, we need to change our lifestyle. We need to adapt what is new and what is much more sustainable. And we need to work on renewable energy that can be recycled again, because all these firewood and petroleum, they are not renewable energy. Once they once once they do not exist, then there will be a problem, because it takes thousands and thousands of years for petroleum to develop. So once this coal petroleum vanishes, then there is no other alternative. So right now, many countries are working to be carbon free. That is, UK is working to be carbon free, and to avoid all types of different types of energies that promotes pollution and all other things. And by I think by 2050. So electric energy is very important. We are talking about EVs, that is electric vehicles. So so these days Maruti is testing about Maruti Udyog is testing, and they will very soon, I think in next 2 3 years, they will launch an electric vehicle. Tesla is a giant, is the first mover in manufacturing electric vehicles, especially cars and trucks. And many other countries are now moving forward, and they are, just they are finding new and new sources of energies, renewable energies. So this is, as we can see, this is wind energy. This one is solar. These are solar panels. This is wind energy. Let's talk about forest, vegetation, and resources. Okay. So if there is no water, then there is no forest. Because forest needs water. Because if there is no water, if there is lack of water, then trees will not grow, crops will not grow. So as we can see in the newspaper about the climate change and all these things, we need to preserve our natural resources. So, according to the Warner 1980, nearly 80% of India was covered with forest around 3000 BC. Waves of migrants into India from treeless countries changed the whole landscape. Perhaps Chandragupta Maurya and later his grandson Ashoka were the first to take several measures to plant trees. Currently, an area of 70 million hectares is converted by forest in in India. About 24.93 million hectares has less than 40% crown density. Per capita forest availability only only zero point zero 0.07 hectares. During 1993, the country faced a deficit of 570 um, metric ton of green fodder, 260 metric ton of dry fodder, and 19 metric ton of timber, and 19 and 6 metric ton of pulpwood, and 80 metric ton of fuel wood. Multipurpose, these species in agriculture, fields, and wastelands play a huge significant role in augmenting the fodder, fuel, and small timber resources. So this is a small chart that depicts the situation of the forest cover of India in 2015. So see, be it land, be it water, be it what we can say sky or atmosphere, they all are connected to each other. Rain will fall on the land, then only green vegetation and trees and crops will grow. Once they will grow, they will produce fruits and vegetables. That is when that is consumed by us, that is human beings. And once they produce, we use them. Then we give it back to the nature, and then this cycle continues. This is actually the cycle continues. So this is the life cycle that cannot be taken for granted. So conservation of natural resources awareness on the day on one of the very important priorities of the union government is education. In fact, the acceptance of Tiwari Committee report in 1980, the country has accepted the need for environmental education. The people themselves are a renewable resources base. We need to train them so that they could help to restore our environment. The idea should be bring environmental concerns in all the subjects areas that environmental bias permeates into all facets of one of the life of that does not compartmentalized at one's place awareness real life situation conversion and sustainable development for the fourth district but interrelated components. So currently the union government is drafting the environment assessment policy. Should go and read. Also, the government of India has given a chance to its citizen to go and check about this policy, and if anybody has any doubt, they can straight away write to the Environment Ministry, Ministry of Environment and Forest. So the current situation of land, forest, and water, land, forest, water, whatever we have read is the current issue is climate change, the climate crisis, which is uh, which is now being faced by the whole earth. So you should know about the Paris climate deal that was signed in 2015 by all these big countries, big giant countries like US, France, and big countries. US has opted out right now of Paris climate deal, but no one knows if the new president, Mr. Joe Biden, if he is giving positive signals for a comeback in the Paris climate deal. So, as per the Paris climate deal, the global temperature of the earth should not be more than 2%. It has to be between 1.5 to 2%. It cannot be more than 2%. So if earth's temperature grows, or if earth temperature increases, it will become hot, and that will lead to an increase in uh, depletion, that will lead to an increase in fire forest. For example, if last year, I think it was last year, when this Australia bushfire incident took place. You can go and read it about in Google. And Amazon forest fire. See, Amazon are the lungs of Earth. Amazon forests in Brazil and America, South America, they are lungs of Earth. They provide oxygen to almost 80% of the Earth. And Arabian Sea is connected to India through Maharashtra, and Maharashtra also have good amount of forest, the Western Ghats. So, as per the Paris climate deal, the Earth's temperature needs to be below 2%. It should not grow from more than 2%. So today, China, sorry, China, US, they are the most polluting, and then India. Then on the third number is India, the most polluting countries in the world. They have the largest amount of carbon footprint. Please go on the internet and read about carbon footprint. They have the largest amount of carbon footprint right now. So we need to, we need to control our carbon emission, so that we can fulfill the promises of Paris climate deal. Okay, let's see a video on the climate change, and let's understand more.
का बदला लेती है। हाल ही में ये कुदरत हर कार्रवाई का बदला लेती है। हाल ही में ये चेतावनी दी संयुक्त राष्ट्र ने, वो भी उस साल में जब दुनिया कोरोना महामारी से जूझ रही है। खतरा कोविड-19 की ही वजह से नहीं है। ये साल मानव इतिहास का सबसे गर्म साल भी माना जा रहा है, जब उत्तरी ध्रुव में भी तापमान सामान्य से काफी ज्यादा रहा। ऐसे में संयुक्त राष्ट्र की धरती को लेकर चेतावनी हम सभी के लिए काफी मायने रखती है। आज कवर स्टोरी में ये जानने की कोशिश रहेगी कि धरती को बचाने के लिए हम क्या क्या कर सकते हैं। हमारी धरती तबाह हो रही है और इंसान प्रकृति के साथ साथ एक आत्मघाती जंग लड़ रहा है। कड़ी चेतावनी भरे ये शब्द संयुक्त राष्ट्र महासचिव एंटोनियो गुटेरेस के हैं। संयुक्त राष्ट्र के मिशन के रूप में वो जलवायु परिवर्तन के खतरे का ऐसा हल चाहते हैं जो लंबे समय तक कायम रह सके। उनका कहना है कि हमारे पास कुछ नहीं करने का विकल्प नहीं है, क्योंकि प्रकृति बदला लेती है और ऐसा वो पूरी ताकत और क्रोध के साथ कर भी रही है।
जैव विविधता खत्म हो रही है, रेगिस्तान फैलते जा रहे हैं, समंदर का कचरे से दम घुट रहा है। अगले 30 साल में समंदर में मछलियों से ज्यादा प्लास्टिक भर जाएगा।
ऐसे में हमारे सामने चुनौतियां क्या-क्या हैं? दुनिया के देश साल 2050 तक उत्सर्जन शून्य के स्तर पर लाना चाहते हैं। इसका मतलब ये है कि जहां तक संभव हो ग्रीन हाउस गैसों का उत्सर्जन काफी कम करना और पर्यावरण में मौजूदा हानिकारक गैसों की मात्रा घटाना है। पर ऐसा कैसे संभव होगा, क्योंकि बहुत ही जल्द बहुत कुछ करने की जरूरत है और कई देशों की रफ्तार काफी धीमी हो सकती है। आइए देखते हैं ये रिपोर्ट।
साल 2020 को हम में से कई लोग अब तक का सबसे खराब साल मानेंगे। अगर आप इसे भुला देना चाहें तो इसके लिए आपको कोई गलत नहीं ठहराएगा। पर जलवायु परिवर्तन को लेकर उम्मीद की एक किरण अब भी मौजूद है। अक्टूबर के महीने में चीन के राष्ट्रपति शी जिनपिंग ने ऐलान किया कि वो चीन को साल 2060 से पहले कार्बन न्यूट्रल बनाएंगे। ये क्यों जरूरी है? क्योंकि दुनिया का 1/4 ग्रीन हाउस गैस उत्सर्जन अकेले चीन करता है, जो कि अमेरिका, रूस और भारत के कुल उत्सर्जन से भी ज्यादा है। संयुक्त राष्ट्र के मुताबिक कार्बन न्यूट्रल बनने के लिए यूरोपीय संघ, जापान और दक्षिण कोरिया समेत 110 से ज्यादा देश प्रतिबद्ध हैं और कुछ का लक्ष्य तो 2015 था। और अगर नवनिर्वाचित अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति जो बाइडेन जलवायु को लेकर कुछ अहम कानून बनाते हैं तो 60% से ज्यादा ग्रीन हाउस गैस उत्सर्जन करने वाली दुनिया की करीब 3/4 अर्थव्यवस्था के सामने सदी के मध्य तक उत्सर्जन को शून्य करने का लक्ष्य है। 5 साल पहले पेरिस में पहली बार दुनिया भर के नेता जुटे और इस बात पर सहमत हुए कि जलवायु परिवर्तन से निपटने में हर देश की भूमिका है। लक्ष्य है वैश्विक तापमान वृद्धि को 1.5 डिग्री तक सीमित रखना। अभी तक ये लक्ष्य हमारी पहुंच से बाहर दिख रहा है। विशेषज्ञों का मानना है कि ये ऐतिहासिक जिम्मेदारी का वक्त है और चुनौती को कम करके नहीं आंकना चाहिए। 2020 शायद सबसे गर्म साल है और वो भी तब जब इस साल अल नीनो का असर देखने को नहीं मिला। अल नीनो की वजह से पहले ही अतीत में रिकॉर्ड गर्मी पड़ती रही है। औद्योगिक क्रांति के बाद से दुनिया का तापमान लगातार बढ़ रहा है। साल 1880 के बाद से दुनिया का औसत तापमान 1 डिग्री से थोड़ा ज्यादा बढ़ा और ये बढ़ता जा रहा है। तापमान में बढ़ोतरी का 2/3 तो 1975 के बाद हुआ है। 1 डिग्री शायद उतनी बड़ी बात ना लगे, पर जरा सोचिए कि समुद्र तल से लेकर वायुमंडल तक और इन दोनों के बीच आ रही तमाम चीजों को गर्म रखने के लिए कितने तापमान की जरूरत होगी। इसके परिणाम विनाशकारी हो सकते हैं। सूखा, बाढ़ और कठोर मौसम सामान्य हो जाएगा। इस साल हमने ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कैलिफोर्निया, ब्राजील के जंगलों में भयंकर आग देखी और साइबेरिया में तापमान 38 डिग्री तक पहुंच गया, जो उत्तरी ध्रुव में रिकॉर्ड किया गया अब तक का सबसे ज्यादा तापमान है। विशेषज्ञों का कहना है कि इंसानी हस्तक्षेप के बिना यह नामुमकिन था और दुनिया के कुछ मजबूत अर्थव्यवस्थाएं जैसे रूस, भारत, ब्राजील और ऑस्ट्रेलिया शून्य उत्सर्जन के अपने लक्ष्य पर अटल हैं। पर यह सब कुछ बदल सकता है अगर अक्षय ऊर्जा को किफायती बनाया जाए। पिछले 1 दशक में सौर और पवन ऊर्जा की लागत में काफी कमी देखने को मिली है। इसके साथ ही बाइडेन प्रशासन और ईयू की ओर से संभावित अतिरिक्त कार्बन टैरिफ का भय दूसरे देशों को ग्रीन टेक्नोलॉजी के इस्तेमाल के लिए प्रेरित करेगा। पर जो भी हो, हमें तेजी से काम करना होगा। जितनी जल्दी हम कार्बन उत्सर्जन घटाएंगे, उतनी ही जल्दी हम धरती के तापमान को कम कर पाएंगे और अपनी धरती को एक सुरक्षित भविष्य दे पाएंगे।
पर इस बड़ी समस्या का हल क्या है, बता रहे हैं एंटोनियो गुटेरेस।
It costs more to simply run most of today's coal plants than it does to build new renewable plants from
ये कार्बन को नियंत्रित करने का वक्त है। जीवाश्म ईंधन का फाइनेंस और उसको दी जाने वाली सब्सिडी धीरे धीरे बंद होनी चाहिए। कोयले वाले पावर प्लांट अब नहीं बनने चाहिए और टैक्स आमदनी नहीं बल्कि प्रदूषण के आधार पर लगाए जाने चाहिए।
तो प्रदूषण की समस्या बेहद गंभीर है। दिल्ली की हवा में सांस लेना कितना मुश्किल है और इस स्वास्थ्य को कैसे नुकसान पहुंचा रही है, ये बताने के लिए किशोर ने संयुक्त राष्ट्र महासचिव को एक चिट्ठी लिखी और मुलाकात भी की ताकि इसका समाधान ढूंढा जा सके।
हमारे सामने जो हवा है, जब गाड़ी चला रहे हो, भाग रहे हो, हमें हवा में दिख सकता है कि हवा कितनी प्रदूषित है। डॉक्टर ने मेरे को बताया कि मेरे को सीजनल ब्रोंकाइटिस हो रहा था और ये दिल्ली की प्रदूषित हवा की वजह से था। इसी कारण की वजह से मैंने एयर पोल्यूशन में इंटरेस्ट लिया और मैंने इस कॉज के लिए काम करना शुरू किया। मैंने अपने दोस्तों के साथ, वॉलंटियर्स के साथ हमने ट्री प्लांटेशन ड्राइव्स की हैं। दिल्ली मेट्रो के स्टेशंस के बाहर, नेबरहुड्स में हम पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट में अलर्ट्स डालते हैं ताकि वो एयर क्वालिटी देख सकें और उसी मुताबिक वो अपना प्लान कर सकें। दिल्ली में हवा की क्वालिटी अक्टूबर से फरवरी तक बहुत ही ज़्यादा बुरी होती है। ये भी बात है कि सिर्फ पराली जलाने से हवा की क्वालिटी इतनी बुरी नहीं हो सकती। पराली जलाने के अलावा भी काफ़ी सारे कॉजेज़ हैं, सच एज व्हीकुलर पोल्यूशन, रोड डस्ट, कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल जो हवा में घूमता है, इन सब से दिल्ली की एयर क्वालिटी बहुत ज़्यादा प्रदूषित हो रही है। हमें अपनी इंडिविजुअल लेवल पर भी काम करने की ज़रूरत है। जब हम मार्केट जाते हैं, हमें पैदल जाना चाहिए या हमें साइकिल करके जाना चाहिए। ऐसे छोटे छोटे कदम अगर हम लेंगे तो हम एयर पोल्यूशन की प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं।
और पर्यावरण संरक्षण के लिए दशकों से काम कर रहे डेविड एटनबरो ने संयुक्त राष्ट्र प्रमुख से बात करते हुए बताया कि आखिर कमी कहाँ रह गई।
बहुत कुछ करने की कोशिश हो रही है, पर कहाँ? अगर आप सत्ता की धुरी से दूर हैं तो ऐसा लगेगा कि कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है। यही समस्या है। लोग बेसब्र हो रहे हैं। इसीलिए मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि अगले साल ग्लासगो में होने वाले जलवायु सम्मेलन में एक्शन का जिक्र होगा और इस समस्या से जूझ रहे राजनेता युवाओं से कह सकेंगे कि देखो, हमने ये कर दिखाया है, हम यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हैं, ये पहला कदम है और हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। पर अगर सिर्फ बातें ही होंगी तो निराशा होगी। हमें एक्शन की जरूरत है।
होला से करोड़ों लोग जा चुके हैं, सेफ है।
Okay, so about this video, we have learned many things. So I end here right now. If you have any doubts, any questions, please do let me know. You can email me. Thank you very much.